My 14-year-old son Alex became enamored with the Tchaikovsky Violin Concerto and wanted to learn this challenging work over this truly unique time.
I just heard someone, I think I was at Perlman's camp where all the kids came together and Perlman was a conductor and he conducted us and we had learned a piece. I heard one of the kids playing a segment of the Tchaikovsky and I thought it was really cool. I asked my dad what it was and he told me that it was a Tchaikovsky, and on the drive home we listened to it the whole time. From then I fell in love with it and I promised myself that I would learn it one day.
The Tchaikovsky is arguably one of the most difficult concertos ever written and is really a handful for any violinist of any age. Alex was determined to learn this concerto, so we came up with a plan. Bring in my dear friend and colleague for many years, Los Angeles violinist Clayton Haslop. Clayton is truly a world-class violinist and has been a top concertmaster in the LA recording scene. He was concertmaster for countless movie film scores, including Titanic, Ratatouille, Up, Avatar, and many others. He was also a student of legendary violinist Nathan Milstein. You've no doubt already heard Clayton's beautiful and distinctive violin solos on many movie scores. You may have already noticed he now plays the violin with 2 fingers, and you can see more of this truly inspiring story about Clayton and his triumphant struggle with focal dystonia on an amazing YouTube video on my channel that has really gone viral. You'll see how he took this condition head on and actually relearned the violin playing with only 2 fingers. Clayton generously offered to teach Alex the Tchaikovsky, so away we went. The process was rather intensive. I would work with Alex every day, orienting him to the music of the Tchaikovsky.
You know, one of my very talented gifts is the ability to completely ignore a metronome.
Alex is already an experienced performer and has performed with me in many of my concerts and shows. His YouTube video of Drake's hit God's Plan, playing in New York and helping the homeless, has touched the hearts of many people.
You must be from heaven. You gotta be. You gotta be from heaven. God bless you. God bless you, Alex.
It's been quite a experience putting this Tchaikovsky together with Alex, and I was just, wondering if what your impression was of, working with Alex. What was it like for you?
Oh, it was cool. It was an exciting process, really. It certainly was a process. Taking him through it, section by section, building this piece. It's a reach. It's a big piece of music.
What did you think about how he came equipped to handle this monumentous piece of music?
Alex is already quite accomplished, and he's been through the Lalo and Mendelssohn and other big pieces. The Tchaikovsky course is another step up for him. Also, Alex has a strong background, of course, in jazz through you, and he's used to playing with a microphone a lot, so that was an adjustment. That was one of the things, I think one of the key things we were working on in this process was to develop his skills as an acoustic classical player.
That's right. I want you to go for the fortietta.
Don't make it fancy good.
Whoa.
What?
Very nice.
Who?
All right.
What did you think about this whole process of doing it over the internet? How did that feel for you? Doing it this way.
The internet, of course, presents some challenges. You're not physically there.
Am I messing up? I just practiced.
You can't put your hands, to make an adjustment. Your shoulders too high. And I remember my teacher, would come over and pat my shoulder to keep my, shoulder from going up, that sort of thing. But you know what? Those are very, very minor inconveniences. The way things are now. We had, as you know, you can have multiple cameras set up. You can see things from different angles if you need to. The connections are pretty secure in terms of we didn't have too many issues with freezing up and this sort of thing. That's only going to get better. And the sound quality was really good enough, and I know people are getting into that now and wanting better sound quality over the internet, and that's coming about. When I first started Skype teaching about 15 years ago, and I think now things are much better than then.
When you play the arpeggios, you like.
Well, it seems that one thing that I noticed is that you had quite a special connection with Alex, and he's a teenager, and at times they're not that easy to work with. What was your impression about working with him personally?
Yeah, well, Alex is a great kid, and the nice thing with Alex is, first of all, he's already accomplished. He's a very talented athlete as well, and so he's done work. He knows what that is. Sometimes, of course, like all teenagers, they don't want to do it now, or whatever. They want to do it when it's convenient, or of course, none of us really. We all have our moments where we're less than enthusiastic, and sometimes a little bit of pressure is part of the process. You say, I'm sorry, but you have to do this now. And, but it's not always that way.
Yeah.
Good. What things could you do a little better?
I don't know, that didn't sound very pretty.
Play that.
It just sounded like,
That's right.
yeah, it sounded horrible.
Yeah, you got that. Yeah, good. Great. Exaggerate that as much as you can. Start quietly in the middle of the bow.
Clayton must be, must really like, how I play, and really must, believe that I can do something, that I can be something great, and be a great violinist. And I can't believe that someone like him, someone as well known as him and respected as him, would take the time every day for 30 minutes during this pandemic to teach me.
The orchestra comes in on the and of one. Ah. Yeah. And then on the downbeat, bum. So those are where you kind of have to be laying for.
Clayton is a student of famed violinist Nathan Milstein, and I often felt like Alex was in many ways getting a lesson with Milstein himself, covering very subtle aspects of vibrato, sound, bowing, and much more.
Yeah, from here, one, wow. And think the same thing with the up bow. Okay, all right. Main thing, aside from, getting more comfortable with it, is to be using more bow. You're going to have to challenge yourself to use more bow.
Well, Clayton, he's a very, humble, he's very humble, caring, and he's a very patient guy, I made a lot of mistakes and didn't get a lot of things that he was saying, and he was very, very patient with me, and he's just a great teacher to work with.
Right now, this is the opportunity for you to take wing. Take wing. You got to spread your wings further out here. I don't feel that. I feel like you're using, like you start here and you change here. I want you to, beautiful. Now you look and sound like a real violinist. That's just clearly different. So take it, and we'll go on. That's right. Okay, good. Start there. That's right. And fast, quick, and then. Time at the end of that measure. You don't have to go straight ahead.
So now to make some music of it,
What was amazing to me is watching you teach him. In ways I felt like it was Milstein imparting information to you. I mean, some of the stuff that you were talking to him about is so high level, so sophisticated for a 14-year-old boy to get it, and I see him getting it.
When this fellow asked Milstein about me, he said I was very I forget in German, sympathetisch. He spoke some German as well as English, although he was Russian. But anyway, I think he was saying that I'm thrilled when I see somebody do something extraordinary, whether it's a physical accomplishment or a musical one, and I want to emulate it. So it's a level of attention, I suppose, that comes from that attraction, that natural attraction and affinity. Yeah, that was good. That was better.
Every time that we watch Ratatouille, every time that his solo comes on, I'm like, wow, that's my teacher that's playing right there, and he's just such a wonderful musician.
All right, let's do that. There's always an advantage when a parent knows music, and you've done so much for Alex, teaching him, and even a parent though that doesn't know, if they come and they're part of the process, that can be very, very helpful, because the parent can register what the child needs to do during the practice, and they hear it's not being done, then you can you can gently remind them of how they're supposed to be working and that sort of thing. But because I mean, we accomplished a great deal. And how many months was that? 2 months, maybe, before we recorded the piece. To take the whole entire first movement of Tchaikovsky, he had it memorized when he made this recording, and to do what he's done is pretty phenomenal, really. And a good part of that goes to the fact that we were a team working on it.
That's sounding better. It really, it's good, very good, actually.
My dad, he's, taught everything to me from the word go. He's been there for me. He's supported me, and, he spends hours up in his office editing the material that it takes to, put this whole Tchaikovsky together, and I'm really grateful for what he's done for me. He cares for me a lot. He's very demanding with, the time and how many shakes of vibrato per beat, and he wants me to get that exact, and even the smallest eighth note, he wants me to vibrate on every note, and if I don't, he points it out.
During this process, we had a rather tragic accident happen with Alex's violin. We were all so upset, and it really took the steam out of everything we were doing for a while. We sent it to my friend John Importuno to be repaired. Alex had to play my violin, which he wasn't particularly comfortable with.
I don't have any music. I'm playing it all from memory because I don't have page.
He really loves his violin, and it was kind of clear that the wind was taken out of his sails for a while.
Make sure you finish that arpeggio.
Very good, very good. Hey, what was particularly awesome was page 20, the second line, where it goes up. Boy, you nailed those both times. The D major arpeggio then goes to octaves, and the D minor, and that's a tough spot.
John repaired Alex's violin masterfully, and we eventually got it back in time to record what Alex has learned on the Tchaikovsky to this point. Of course, it's a work in progress, but I thought I'd share it with you now. What can I say? I'm a proud father.
Well, you know, I've got to say, as a parent, I don't think there's any greater gift that you can give than to help your child with his learning, whether it's music or anything. And I can't tell you how grateful both Juliet and I are for the time that you spent with him and are spending with him to make him not only a better violinist, but, you know, a better person as well.
Well, thank you. That's very kind. As I say, I've enjoyed the process. I learn by teaching too. I really do, and I have to think about things, you know, in different ways sometimes in order to get a message across, and that's good for me.